Welcome to ESH School, everyone, and I'm really happy to have this opportunity that I know we can start this project together, and I think that it has all kinds of like motives that I came with to this project, mainly. I don't know, maybe because God told me, or I don't know, maybe it's because I think it's.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, whatever. It's like I feel like it has some kind of like a divine intervention in me doing that. Every time that I'm deciding on starting like a new project with Esh News, I'm feeling that I have this sense that it's kind of like telling me, yeah, this is what you should do right now. And once like I heard Elisha wanted to learn Hebrew, and Richie. I know that we had the previous tries in the past to learn Hebrew, and oh, Richie, you're so double.
Yeah. I've gone onto the phone. Alfie, I need to take Alfie out, so I'm just. I'm on.
No worries. Yeah, go. Anyway, so I think that also it came out with a good opportunity. Also, Mardi told me that she wants to learn, and so when I compile it together, I kind of like had this feeling of something is going to happen, and I do believe that. And the other reasons that that I have for learning Hebrew, I think that it's important. Okay, it's important to learn Hebrew, and mainly for you, because I know that most of you are like following the scriptures and God believers, and I think that we will discuss about it later on. But Hebrew was the language which the Bible was written, and I think that once you get to know the source of the language, I think it's which the Bible was written in. I think that you will be able to get into all kinds of like understandings about new interpretations that you can give into all kinds of like things if you understand them in Hebrew. I always say to people who are like only know the Bible from English or from any other language, is that they are like reading the translation, and the translation is only one interpretation that that someone can give. Oh, we got Mardi joining in. Cool. It's only like one interpretation that you can give to what is written originally in Hebrew. And whenever like, hey Mardi.
Hi.
Hey, how
Good
are you?
evening.
Hey, good evening. From the Philippines. We are
from the Philippines.
over here in this ESH school. It's absolutely wonderful from all over the world. So good to have you in, Mardi. Anyway, about what I said, if you will comprehend the Hebrew text in the Bible, I think this is a place that you can create your own interpretations, because all kinds of like I will touch with that later on, but in Hebrew everything is very dense. Okay, it's very dense and very like from like the source it can go through all kinds of directions. Okay, so actually in Hebrew we have for each word, noun, verb, we got like a root. Okay, in Hebrew, which out of this root can be all kinds of like words can be created, which is not necessarily related to one another. Okay, so any kind of like verse in the Bible that it has all kinds of like special words, it can be interpreted in all sorts of ways. So and into those interpretation, I do like wish you that you will be able to get by yourselves and learn them. So this is another reason that I started this project, and I think more than that, I kind of like missed teaching Hebrew. Okay, I used to do that for a couple of years. With like about like 10 years ago, I used to work with the Masa program, which is being sponsored by a Jewish agency here in Israel. And this program had like people coming over here to Israel for a period of something like half a year. And one of the main things over the time that they were here, they were learning Hebrew. So I used to provide those lessons for them. And besides that, also I have a very big love to the Hebrew language, because I know besides it's like my language, I kind of like have this feeling from her that it's from this language that I know special bond or something like that. And over in my life, I did all kinds of like projects related to Hebrew, and nowadays I'm working with in the company that I established, Olympus Translations. And so this is kind of like giving me the opportunity to be involved with Hebrew all day, okay? Because usually all my clients are like from over here, and they usually need to translate things from Hebrew or to Hebrew. So I'm with this language all day. And besides that, not to brag too much about my experience, but also like published about 6 books, okay, in Israel, mainly all kinds of like biographies and poetry, whatever, in my early days. And,
wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and so I kind of like have this really good relationship with the Hebrew language, and I really like to teach it to other people, because besides that, it's one of the initial goals that I started ESH News, when I told everybody with all this truth word, conspiracy word, whatever, I told, hey, Israel over here, it's like the living room of the world, okay? Everything like all the real actions, like in magnified, happens over here, okay? And I think that when we're approaching the end of days, so yeah, you should know Hebrew or whatever. And I think that also, how's it going, Rich, outside? How's the weather?
So jealous.
Yeah, sorry,
of
that's
the
to mute.
Anyway, so I think that one of the reasons that I established the ESH News is to attract people over here to Israel, and to understand, where the reality lays on, to be like, a lighthouse for the other people, to see what's going on over here, because I think that everything that goes on over here in Israel is very symbolic to the entire world in general, something which is very all the things are happening over here, kind of like first, I could feel it like in the COVID times, okay, that everything that happened, like with the scenarios which happened over here, after 2 or 3 weeks, happened in all the other places in the world, so I do think that historically, or something like that, in this time specifically, I know this is a good thing for you to start be engaged with this language. And I think that we should start off by mentioning a few characteristics of this language. And I'm going to touch first with the point, which is everybody, mainly in the truth world, everybody are like considering Hebrew as one of the first languages, or maybe the first languages, or maybe the language that God with it created the world. But I don't want to be so much of like confident about it, okay? Because I don't have really the historical facts for that. But I will try to.
It's ancient. Like what's the difference between ancient Hebrew and modern Hebrew, though? Because there is a difference, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like ancient Hebrew wasn't Aramaic was around the same time as ancient Hebrew, wasn't it? So
yeah. It's. I'm going to touch with that. Yeah, Elisha?
Oh, I'm just looking at his tropical trees in the background, and we've got this is what we see. It's like snow.
Yeah.
It's complete opposite, so it's pretty amazing.
Anyway, so I think that regarding being the first language, I can't prove it actually, but I will prove it that it is one of the first languages, because I will prove it for you from my translation work that I do, because when I and Dejen also correct me if it's like that also in Amharic. The thing is that in Hebrew, everything, as I said earlier, it's very dense. Okay, it's very dense. It's very goes to the origin. And once I'm getting in my job to translate something, for instance, from Hebrew to English. Let's say I'm taking 100 words in Hebrew and want to translate them into English. So it come out something like 150 words in English. Okay, and it goes like that also for all the European languages and some of the others as well. And I think that it's because whoever wanted to create a language after the Hebrew, he had to, in all sorts of places, when he couldn't find the right word for him to describe what is being described in Hebrew, so he had to do a combination of 2 or 3 words to describe this one word in Hebrew. Okay. So this is how because the text is in other languages is much larger. Okay. So that the source must be shorter. Okay. And this is how I kind of prove to me that that Hebrew is what the hell? We got time limits, but anyway. And I think that this is one of the ways that you can actually prove it, that it's been one of the first languages. And I think also because of the technical form of this language, I think it's because it all goes down to roots, as I said earlier. Roots is 3 letters, okay? 3 letters that out of them you can create all kinds of words with additional things. So and also the word itself, you can see that it's being contained all kinds of other elements relevance and time and place and things like that. All kinds of very small letters that you add to the word, and it kind of saying all kinds of thing about the position of it or whatever. And let me see. About the differences between the ancient Hebrew and the modern Hebrew. Modern Hebrew is more including lots of other words that have been taken out from different languages. Let's say from Arabic, from Yiddish, from even from English. It's been borrowed all kinds of words, and when you look at the biblical text, you can actually see, that the vocabulary doesn't contain all kinds of modern words and modern expressions. The difference was the Hebrew language for 2,000 years was kind of pretty much of a sleep language, because we were exiled, and but throughout all those years, the main achievement of the Jewish communities was the biblical language alive and the biblical text alive, and keep believing in it. And so whenever they copied all the Bible, so they make sure that there won't be any kind of letter being changed and no differences, whatever. So the language kept through all this time. And then in the late 19th century, there was a guy named Eliezer ben Yehuda, when the first project of the Zionism started over here. So he took this project to renew the Hebrew language, and he kind of altered it into what we know today as the modern Hebrew. Also, in the way that you pronounce the things in the ancient language, it's more with the times, with the with the bodies, whoever like speaking is kind of like a different in different way. And I think it's it's very related also like to the punctuation of the letters, because in Hebrew we don't have any vowels. We do have vowels, but it's not like working in in English, because if you got like an after a letter you got like an A or E or I that says to you how to say this letter. In Hebrew we got like dots. Okay, we got like dots or like all kinds of like marks below below like the letter, or like above the letter or whatever, which is this is how it tells us how to pronounce this letter. And so we got like four letters which are considered, they're called EHV letters. It's Aleph, Hey, Vav, and Yud. And those are like ones that you sometimes use in order to express this letter and how it's gonna be sound like. Anyway, I think it's kind of like interesting way of thinking when you like look at this Hebrew, because everything it's kind of like opposite in Hebrew in all sorts of way, also with these vowel things, and also like with the descriptions of not the description, the actually form of the sentence. Okay, for instance, like in English you can say, oh, it's a beautiful table. Okay. But in Hebrew we'll say shulchan yafeh. For instance, the beautiful, okay, comes after, okay, the table. Meaning
like French.
Yeah, like the descriptions are coming afterwards, and in English it's coming beforehand. Okay, and also like of course the writing, okay, which is like from right to left. Okay, then and so all kinds of like things like that you need to adjust, but just think, okay, whenever you like thinking about how to do things in Hebrew, is just to translate and make it opposite. Okay, so it's this is the way to go usually. Okay, but anyways, I think that we will close this session pretty soon. Okay. I think that because it was Christmas and everybody had like plans and stuff, so I will postpone like the first lesson that I planned about the letters and punctuation for next week. And for that, I first of all I want to say thank you that you joined to our first class, and just for this short introduction. Any kind of like questions or things you want to say? 2 words. We got 2 more minutes.
I would like to know if you're gonna upload the lessons as well to like YouTube or something. So
sure.
We could all agree that we're okay to be on YouTube with you if it complicates things. But I think it would be awesome to look at the lessons again.
Yeah, sure. I will put everything on again, and this lesson as well. I'm recording everything, and I don't want to be on. Sorry?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want. Is it okay? Can you blur me out?
Blur you out. Okay. But you're beautiful. Come on. Anyway.
No, it's not for that.
Okay. So we will hopefully get together next week. Okay, and we'll start the real. Like, it'd also be good, to start off 2023 with those lessons, and so anyway, thank you very much for joining. It was really nice for me, and I'm really excited for this project, and hopefully it will do very well.
I'm sure it will.
Good.
Thank you so much, Amir.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Enjoy your Christmas.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, dude. Much love. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Feliz